What is up, you guys? It's Caleb here. Today I've brought to you guys episode number 2 of my new series called Can I Modify It? In this series I get a range of different blasters which can be broken or just really weird, and I see if I can modify it. Today we will be seeing if I can modify this really weird Buzzbee blaster. It's pretty old. It was actually made in 2004, which is before I was born. To prime your blaster, you stick your 2 fingers or one right here on the priming handle and you pull back. But as you can see, this is actually a metal rod, which I find pretty weird. And then you simply pull the trigger to fire. But this blaster does not have a rotating cylinder. And so what happens is after every time you fire a dart, like so, when you pull back and pull the trigger again to fire, it will shoot again out of this hole. So what you have to do is you actually have to manually rotate the cylinder, and then you can fire again. And without further ado, let's open this thing up. Okay, now that all the screws are undone, let's actually open this thing up. Here is a quick little look at the internals of the blaster. I'm actually surprised that it's so simple. Alright, so now I need to separate all the parts so I can access the spring, which I will be upgrading. And so now out goes the plunger rod and spring. Then let's access this barrel piece. Let's take this off, and then we have a fallen piece. One sec. Alright, so as you guys just saw, this piece just flew out, and it was held in by this tiny little spring right here. And so that would keep the pressure on the barrel. The pressure, man, I am just so good at this. But what it did is you stuck this in, and then it kept pressure on so it actually stay in place when firing. Sadly, we cannot upgrade the spring because there's no way to actually put a different spring in here without either breaking the components of the blaster or weaving another one in, which I cannot do. But what I can do is I can seal up an air pressure release hole that is right here. Ew, this hair. Ew, that's gross. I got this at Goodwill, so I mean, random person's hair. That's gross. But I can seal up this air release hole with some electrical tape. Now that this air hole is all sealed up, let's put this aside and look at the cylinder piece. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna drill out the air restrictor. And so, as you can see, there's the main outer circle, the main inner circle, but there's a tiny faint circle between the outer and the inner circle. And so what I'm actually gonna do is I'm gonna get a drill bit of that size and then drill through the air restrictor. Not only would taking out the air restrictor increase the airflow, but with the size of the drill bit that I'm using, there would still be plastic around right here. So therefore, when I prime the blaster and a dart is ready to be fired, opposed to all the air and pressure being sucked into the plunger tube, taking a dart with it, such as a problem I ran into when I modified a Nerf reactor, it will hit against some plastic, and so then it won't go into the plunger tube. you can see, the air restrictors are now drilled out and the only remnants are right here. So now we can focus on a different thing about the cylinder. How the cylinder is designed is when all the air and pressure fires, some of it pushes the dart, but then a lot of it goes out of these holes. And that's not good because it limits your power. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna get some more electrical tape and cover up these holes so all the air actually fires the dart. Now that the holes are covered, I'm gonna put this blaster back together and I'll check back with you guys later. Okay, so here's a final look at all of the internals. I actually didn't include that notch that was friction fitting these since I took out the air restrictor. And so hopefully it still works because of that, and it should, but other than that, let's put the shells back together. Okay, moment of truth. I've put the blaster back together. It should work. It primes, it catches. Let's put these darts in there. And first one, woo, works and it's pretty powerful. Let's situate that, align it, and then, yep, it works.
Yep, it works.
I'm super glad I did this modification because it shoots about 15 feet further, which is a big upgrade and thumbs up for me. The only thing I dislike about this modification is that now when I turn it, it will spin freely, but what it used to do is you'd turn it and it would kind of click into place every time it got aligned with the top hole. I found that pretty useful since you didn't have to guess to align it, but it really doesn't bother me because it's kind of obvious how to align it. Other than that, I'd like to thank you guys for watching the video, and also please remember to follow me on Instagram at CalebDoesStuffYT. There I post sneak peeks on upcoming videos and other cool stuff about my life living in Vietnam. So other than that, I'd like to thank you guys for watching the video, and as always, I will see you guys next time.